Alrighty. So we are Texas Tech Renewable Energy. We are doing the North Carolina State District use case. And there we go. So our team members are myself, and then we have,
Oh, I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me?
yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had my microphone off. I can take over. I'm sorry. Going into our team info a little deeper, I am Michaela Rendon. I had the honors of contributing to the annual energy production and conceptual design as well as the project proposal. Alongside me was Evan Tirzian. He also contributed to the conceptual design and the project proposal. Our captain is Dylan Beaver, and he as well contributed to the project proposal and did the development plan. Brock Taylor is our finance guy, and he helped with the financial analysis. We did have help from a grad student. His name is Matab Murshed, and he helped us with the re-opt analysis. So going a little bit into our conceptual design, some of our goals included creating an efficient solar array that could produce a desired amount of power along with sufficient battery storage. We wanted to reduce NCSU's reliance on the power grid within the community and really just wanted to bring awareness and pique interest in renewable energy within the community and NCSU's student base. Some of our constraints, we were limited with rooftop space on some of the buildings, so that did pose a problem when coming around to the project design and layout, as well as financial versus clean energy goals, just making sure that the financial was reasonable with comparison to the actual energy that was being produced. Next slide, please. So our panel, we did choose the Maxeon 3. It is ideal for commercial operations. It can produce 470 watts of power with an optimized max efficiency of 21.7%. It does do well in extreme temperatures as well as low lighting that may occur during like morning times or afternoon. And it does have crack resistant cells that help and reinforce connections to help protect from corrosion. Next slide, please. Here is just a map of NCSU's campus that was provided to us. The buildings that are circled in red are the ones that we had the opportunity to work on. Not all are going to be shown in the presentation as we did not choose all of the buildings, but this is just to give reference and space-wise of where they're laid out.
Okay, so our system design and layout, we got relatively small numbers from Reopt. The total for the whole system is 84 kilowatts. This is spread out between 3 different rooftop sites, and we have a net annual energy production of 117.43 megawatt hours. First, we'll talk about Hunt Library. This screenshot on the left here it's a file from Reopt. This business as usual column shows what the energy for the building, not including solar. The financial column shows after we've included the solar array, and then that difference column just shows the difference between the building with and without solar. So the PV size for this building is 22 kilowatts. The average annual PV energy production is just under 35,000 kilowatt hours. The average annual energy supplied from the grid is going to be 36,667 kilowatt hours. Again, looking at this difference column, you can see that goes down just over 20,000 kilowatt hours for the year. And then the annual renewable electricity, basically the percent of electricity that's going to come from renewable for this building is 36%. Next slide, sorry. Really similar idea here. This is the array that we have on top of Research 4. This is not supplying power for Research 4. We didn't have enough space on Research 1 to fit the array there, so we had to put it on this building. Similar information in these data columns here. This one here we have included battery power showing 2 kilowatts and a battery capacity of 11 kilowatt hours. Average annual PV energy from production just over 16,000 kilowatt hours. Average energy supplied from the grid, this is at just over 43,000 kilowatt hours. Again, this is going down a significant amount. 25% of the power for this building would be supplied from solar in this case. And then this re-up analysis also gave us a CO2 emission reduction annually. This is basically the difference in CO2 that this building is going to be responsible for emitting, not necessarily what's emitted from the building, but it's saving 10 tons of carbon emissions by including this solar array on the rooftop. This one here for engineering 2, this is going to be supplying power to 3 different buildings. Actually, it's for itself, the Partners 2 building and the toxicology building. Re-ops total between the 3 of them told us to have a 50 kilowatt system. This gives us a gross annual output of 66.73 megawatt hours. We're saving 36 tons of CO2 emissions. But again, this is kind of between the 3 buildings. It's combined into this one array. On the next slide, we'll actually go ahead and go over to the next slide because I included all of the re-ops analysis on their own slide so that I could still fit the image on the previous slide. I won't take too much time on this because we've already gone over similar information, but this is the same results from re-opt for those 3 buildings, which is how we got the numbers to put them all together for one array on that building. And then we also included a floating PV array. We didn't run numbers on it because re-opt had told us that we already fit the desired parameters in terms of renewable energy percentages for those different buildings. So this would be more like a maybe a future pitch to the university is to include this floating array. The main reason, really the biggest difference between this and a rooftop one is student engagement and having students become more familiar, maybe more excited about renewable energy. If those arrays are on the rooftops, a lot of people won't see them. They might not even know that they're there, but this, if you might walk past this every day on your way to class, or you might go eat lunch out by the lake and get to interact with it, so to speak. See something like this every day just kind of normalizes renewable energy, which I think is one of the big desires for the university.
So going into battery storage, according to re-opt, toxicology was going to need 5 kilowatt battery power with 27 kilowatt hour battery capacity. Research 1 was going to have 2 kilowatt battery power with 11 kilowatt hour battery capacity. Partners 3 is going to have 3 kilowatt battery power with 13 kilowatt hour battery capacity. And engineering 2 with 3 kilowatt battery power and 14 kilowatt battery capacity. And with our solar array that we have on Hunt Library, just in case for backup power in necessity situations, we went ahead and ran an optimization for it. So we have a 2 kilowatt battery power with 11 kilowatt hour battery power capacity, just in the event that we do need extra power to draw from. The Hunt Library can serve as a great source. So we do have 2 proposed locations for where battery storage we think would most be optimal. These are just suggestions. They don't have to follow these specific constraints, but on the image on the right is a great location because it fits between toxicology, engineering 2 and partners 3. It's a centralized location, easy for power distribution and easy to combat loss of transmission. And then this one image on the left is for research 2. Just it's closer location to the overall building. and as well as cut down on overall transmission loss. Distribution approach, minimize collection line distances to reduce losses and cost. We want to ensure correct transformer sizes and ensure our collection lines, handle the load from our panels. So this is our analysis that we did. We created 2 loop systems. We have an A2 and D2 loop system, which has a total load of 5,896 kVA. Design capacity of this is 8,362 kVA with a total load percentage of 71%. So the remaining available capacity would be about 2,466 kVA on the first loop. Total load on the second loop is 6,179 kVA. Design capacity is 8,362. So the overall percentage load is going to be 74% with available remaining capacity of 2,183 kVA. So our development plan, with North Carolina, they do have very strict permitting and codes for their constructions. So for all construction that is non-residential, you must obtain a non-residential construction permit, which in order to do that, you must submit a administrative site review listed in section 6.3.3.A.1.c. And then after the administrative site review is reviewed, you then have to submit an ICD, which is the infrastructural construction drawings. Then after that is approved, you have to submit a BRA, which is building review application. And then once all that is submitted, then you can go ahead and have your non-residential construction permit that covers everything that you'll need for the construction of this project. For electrical permits that have to do with this project, as it was saying in the codes, you do not have to seek an individual electrical permit for this as long as you include an electrical contractor's information in the non-residential construction plan permit. Restrictions that follow these permits are a project must start 6 months after obtaining this permit. If a project is left undeveloped for more than 12 months, the permit will be forfeited and must be resubmitted. Electrical permit, as I said before, does not need to be submitted if the electrical subcontractor's information is contained within the non-residential permit. All third-party approvals must be submitted to the NC Department of Insurance Office of the State Fire Marshal, which is held within Appendix G.
So just to kind of round off our presentation, we have just a little bit about our financial analysis. So this is just a couple of the inputs that we were operating off of, and we came up with a construction cost of $3.95 per watt for their 84,000 watt system, 84 kilovolt system. And admittedly, this was one of the parts of the project that was a bit more difficult, but this is what we managed to scrape together. So thank you.
And I think at this point it is just about time. And we thank you all for listening, and we hope y'all appreciated our pitch.